Is that what he said?
Everybody thinks they're tough until they get punched in the face.
Everyone has a plan or whatever.
Bitches, we're hot.
Are we?
We're hot.
All right, I got to stop saying so many F-bombs.
I think we all do.
Yeah.
Particularly when they're, because, we're like in public space these days.
Yes, we are public.
It's uncomfortable.
We are.
I was drunk. They put me in public.
All right. You need to do something with your microphone.
What's wrong with it?
It's too far away.
It's too far away.
Yeah, bring it up to closer to where the sound comes from.
Why aren't you taking a picture?
It's my microphone now.
I can't keep up.
That's too close.
Yeah,
Fuck. There is no winning with you guys.
Raise it up a little bit so it's not on your chin. There you go.
How about that?
That's better.
Check.
Michael Checkle.
Hello, everybody. It is ShiftLess coming at you again live from Below Republic in Denton, Texas, with the air conditioner blowing on my back, which is welcome.
Doesn't suck. Doesn't suck at all.
Because it's like 95 degrees out there right now.
Yeah, but it feels a lot hotter. I went for a ride today, and in 15 miles I drank 2 bottles.
I believe it.
Yeah.
It was humid today.
Yeah.
Lots of background noise, but we can push on through to the other side.
We can work with it. What do we want to start with?
Well, I mean, you should introduce.
Oh yeah, the venerable DJ.
Keep going.
Khaled. No longer a guest. He's part of the show.
He's kind of driving the bus these days.
Welcome edition.
We are alive, but not live.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Sounds like we're in a mechanic shop.
Yep.
What's new?
Well,
I have a confession to make.
Uh-oh. Did you buy an e-bike?
I'm in love with an e-bike.
Oh, here we go. See, I asked him if he's getting one, and he goes, no, not yet.
I'm not getting one.
Oh, but you're in love with it.
Yeah. I mean, you can be in love with a stripper, but you don't have to take her home. You know?
That bike's going to provide you more joy than a stripper, and you can actually own it.
That's probably true. That being said, I rode the dog piss out of that bike, and I came back in, brought it in, and I was like, here's what happened. At one point, the beans were above the frank. The entire derailleur twisted all the way up, and I thought it was just going to shear off. And got that all sorted, and the shifting was still trash. The derailleur hanger itself had spun. And so we took the whole wheel off, took the derailleur hanger off. I say we, Breg did the majority of it. And got everything adjusted back, and it rode fine. I just had some limitations, and the gears weren't like super crisp. And then the road to Adam's cabin is just a...
Yeah.
And Breg and I were just trading hits, like on turbo mode, just racing up his driveway. And all of a sudden, my shit just locked up. Chain went between the hub and the cassette. It wasn't even touching the spokes. The derailleur, one of the spokes went into the bottom jockey wheel, like where the cage is for the derailleur.
What did you do?
It was jammed in there.
How did you do this?
I don't know. I was just riding.
He's not very good at demoing bikes from here, because one time he was demoing some kind of salsa.
Oh, no, don't tell that story.
No?
Don't tell that story.
Does he not know that story?
No, don't tell that story.
Oh, edit that out.
It got sold. I guess it's okay since it's sold.
Yeah. Right before you get to, what loop is that, 5?
Mm-hmm.
6?
Right before you get to loop 7. We finished in 6.
Right before you get to the Twin Coves Road, you come out a real narrow tree gate, you dip down, you go over that wooden bridge, and you pop out on the road.
Yeah.
He took a handlebar to a tree gate and just A over T and picked the bike up in it was a brand new Blackthorn?
No, it was whatever their
No.
down country bike is. Not the horse thief.
The other one.
I can't remember.
Anyway.
the other one that's not the horse thief. I know what you're
He
talking
hit that
about.
thing so hard that it
head
knocked,
badge came off.
the head badge off of the head too. He literally drove from the shop here.
You don't demo a bike half-ass.
No, you don't.
You fucking send it.
Yeah, you
you ride it like you
you
stole
get your
it.
money's worth for that free demo, don't you?
And people wonder why it's so tough to find demo bikes these days.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, I rented this Cannondale.
Oh, you did?
And rental bikes too. But
And when I rented it, I told Gabe, I said, make sure you tack on the renter's insurance because I'm going to dog the shit out of it. And
Proper?
True to what I said. That's what
You
I did.
fulfilled the task.
I wrecked it
Why don't you just buy that one then?
because it's fucking wrecked.
You want a new one?
I know what that bike's been through.
I don't want that one. I want a new stripper. I've seen where that stripper's been.
But I did. I brought it back in and I was like, look, here's everything that
he wants the
happened.
one without tattoos yet.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's right.
I brought it in and I said, look, here's everything that happened. I was full face value. And I said, look it over and tell me what I owe you. And Gabe was like, nah, we'll just rent it to somebody else. But that
All right.
thing, the thing is an absolute
Tell us all about it.
beast. The stuff we rode, like I would honestly not want to ride it on a regular bike.
Well, give us a recap because there's some
Okay, so
there's news about that area. That area
Yeah.
is so back us up.
So let's start there. Mena is set and poised to absolutely explode. There's I guess it's an area right on the edge of Mena called Ward Lake that is a defunct. There's no more water there for
If
whatever
you've ever,
reason.
it's the strangest thing, Kevin, to go and stand at the edge of a dam that has a hole in it where a lake used to be, and you're looking down into a lake bed that has trees growing in it.
Yeah.
But it's obviously a lake with no water in
Yeah.
it. It was very weird.
And they still have the plant building at
Yeah.
the bottom below the dam and all this. Well, they're still waiting on. It's a multi-stage deal, multi-phase deal, I guess, and they're still waiting for the National Forest, which Ward Lake touches, to sign off on all their stuff. But the overall goal is 100 miles of track or trail, and then up to 5 lift systems. They had already, we rode like Adam's Cabin, maybe a 2-mile ride to get there. And we rode to Ward Lake, and Progressive Trail Design was there, still building trail and stuff, but they're 90% done with phase 1, which the entry-level stuff is just, it's a crushed granite, solid or permeable surface that goes all the way around the lake, that's really mellow. And then there's a climb trail that goes almost up to the top. It goes to like the first tier towards the top, and then at the top it splits, and there's 2 hit trails. I mean, one of them's flow tech, and then the other one's just straight flow. It's just all just jumps and switchback berms, and it's just amazing. And they've done all that in from what I understand, about 3 months.
Well, because we went there right as they had gotten the pad flattened for Adam. That was what, 2 years ago or a year and a half ago?
Maybe a year and a half ago. Yeah.
It's an incredible amount of work to get done that fast.
Yeah.
In that area where there's not a lot of
who-
infrastructure.
Who's backing that part?
Well, the mayor's on board with it.
Is it the city? Is it the county? Is it the region? Is it private enterprise?
I know you were going with this, but I don't think the Waltons have anything to do with
No,
it.
I don't.
Yeah.
I know they don't, actually.
Okay.
And I know that that's too early for the Forest Service to be contributing their part yet. So
Yeah.
somebody's backing what's there so far.
I don't have the answers to that question.
Okay. Just curious.
I do know that they are moving. They're striking while the iron's hot. I have a little bit of insider information that the deposit's already been paid for the first lift. So that's going to be an absolute game changer because they don't even have a lift system in Bentonville. And in Mena, they have, I want to say they have 3 times the elevation to play with. Right there off of that Ward Lake area. I can't remember what it caps out at elevation-wise, but you could take it. I think there's...
But if everybody's on an e-bike, what's the point of a lift?
That's fair. But
Touche.
But
because there's no e-bike that are there e-bikes that have downhill squishies?
what are you talking about?
Are there e-bikes that have suspension?
Downhill capable suspension?
Yeah.
That bike that I rented.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know what the front and rear on that is, but that thing was as capable, if not more capable, than my Blackthorn.
Okay.
I mean, and true to what I thought, that thing descends like an animal because it's glued to the ground, and that suspension eats up everything, and it climbs. So it's the first Cannondale I've ever been on where I've been like, I really like this bike. Normally Cannondales, their geometry just doesn't work for me, and I made minimum adjustments to that bike. I adjusted the cockpit and the saddle. I didn't even mess with the suspension because the first day Adam and I rode, I was like, I carried a suspension pump with me and thinking, well, I'll have to either pump it up or let some out or whatever. I never touched it. That thing, we climbed some stuff that has super tight switchbacks. I wouldn't even call them a switchback. I mean, it's just, you're climbing and then all of a sudden you're going the opposite direction. And I made every one of them. And that thing is so perfectly balanced that you can just pick up the front end and move it where you want. I was thoroughly impressed. Had plenty of battery. I rode the dog piss out of it. The last day we rode 32 miles, and I think more than 15 of that was climbing. I mean, climbing.
What did that do at the end of the day of your battery?
So what we did is we rode all the way up Rich Mountain Trail, and we ended up at the lodge that's at the top of, is it Wilhelmina State Park or whatever?
Queen
Wilhelmina, whatever.
I know what you're talking about.
And we ate at the lodge there, and everybody carried their charger, and we plugged our bikes up. I can't remember what percentage I was at when I got there, but I only picked up like 15% more while we were there. And we rode all the way back, and then when we got, I don't know, halfway back, I just turned it to turbo because I was like, I'm not going to run out of battery. And then even after all of the business on Adam's driveway or Adam's road and all that, we got back and I still had over 20%.
When you carry the charger, is it? I'm assuming it's a wall plug and it's a plug to the bike. Is there a capacitor in the middle of it?
Yeah, there's a big
brick.
Big brick.
Yeah.
Big brick.
You just put it
not heavy though.
In your backpack.
It's just big. It's not heavy. I carried on that day.
They keep the extra fig Newtons in there.
Yeah. On that day, I ran I'm forgetting what they're called now. Not my Useway. It's dadgummit, what are those bags we used to always run?
Camelback?
No, not a Camelback. It was a different company.
No.
Either way.
Wingnut.
That's what it was.
Oh, that's the one that's got the big kidneys.
That was the Fad Wagon one. Yeah.
Ooh, those things.
They're comfortable.
They look hot as hell though.
No, because it sits down here. This one was like a half bag.
Yeah, I remember Shannon and Bragg and.
Yeah, I have a couple of them.
Okay.
I got some of the probably betas, and all my zippers gave up the ghost. But
who's a better mechanic, you or Bragg?
Bragg's a badass mechanic for real.
Okay.
But man, I don't know that I could have had much more fun. On Sunday, we were going to shuttle to the lake and ride from the lake to Highway 27 Fishing Village. But we woke up and it was raining, and it never let up. So
how far away is that?
I think to get to Highway 27 Fishing Village from Mena is like an hour 15.
Okay, yeah. And then y'all were going to ride back?
And, well, we were going to stage a vehicle at 27 Fishing Village, drive to the lake, and then ride from the lake to Highway 27 Fishing Village, and then shuttle everything back.
Yep. Y'all stayed at Adam's cabin, or were y'all at different places?
Adam and Ben's.
Yeah. They're right around the corner from each other,
aren't they? They're literally parallel roads.
Okay.
Big Bear, Little Bear.
Okay.
So.
Little Spoon, Big Spoon?
Mm-hmm. It's Adam's cabin, and the weather was absolutely fantastic. I mean, I think the highest it got was like 83 one day.
Yeah. We actually had
good weather too.
Good weather here. It was nice.
Yeah.
Kevin, what kind of turnout did y'all have this weekend?
We had a piss poor small turnout this weekend because the rain did come overnight Saturday night, and everybody was concerned it was going to be muddy, and it was.
How much rain did we actually get? Do you know?
Well, what had happened was overnight we had like some spotty showers blow through that. Who knows? Because everybody's asleep, but standing puddles here and there. But Sunday late morning, early afternoon, just this hellacious deluge blew through. I'm sure it drowned y'all's place really good because I got diverted off the interstate going home, and I had to. I know because I went by y'all's place because I couldn't go down I-35.
We got rain. I just don't know how much we got.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was very intense for however long.
Yeah.
But I drove south to my place, and we didn't get any of it down there, and we were very disappointed. Could have used the rain.
Well, we had a 55-gallon rain barrel. We had maybe 4 or 5 gallons in it, and it's probably now got 45. Like it's right at 3/4 full. I mean, and that happened within
it probably
an hour.
all happened in an hour or less. Yeah.
Man, that's good stuff, man.
Yeah, it was good.
I had sent Gage a text and asked him to water my tomato plants and stuff, and he sent me a picture of it just pouring down rain. He goes, "No need to water outside plants."
Yeah, no. My grass is looking amazing right now. Garden, I don't know what I did.
Not so much.
80% of what's in my garden I started from seed.
Same.
And I don't know, I don't know if they weren't healthy. I don't know it was the first time I've done that.
So I have a question for you. All my tomato plants look amazing. They have flowers on them. But like I have one that probably has 100 flowers and only 1 tomato.
Yeah.
So is it a nutrient that I'm missing? Should I electrify them?
Well,
do they need Brondo?
I'm the second best person to talk about this. You need to talk to my wife.
Female plants?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, if it's got 1 tomato, it's not a male, but you can get like right now.
Their pronouns.
Most of my tomato plants ended up being males, so we have nothing. They're just plants that are taking up nutrients. You need to ask my wife.
Yeah.
Text her, and she's the tomato queen as far as like.
Yeah.
She can tell you like. You can shake them. You can blow out. You can do
I do the
an
rub.
air blower on it.
I rub them.
You rub them. Talk to them.
Yeah.
Also, most of your tomato plants. Are these the ones that are in the ground or in pots?
In pots.
That could be it. Sometimes just being in the dirt in the doit.
I've had good luck with them in the past, though.
Well, okay, I know, but you never know.
But I grew all these from seed as well.
Yeah.
Do we need to get a tomato expert on the show?
No, it has nothing to do with bikes. I just
you know
figured
what they're called, right?
A tomato expert?
Tomatologist. That was awful.
That was so stupid. It was funny.
We're laying out on that one.
Can we edit that out? Because I don't want to look dumb.
No.
Don't keep that in there.
Let's talk about bikepacking.com's
These
13 favorite drop bar bikes.
Okay, look.
Bikepacking.com's what?
If only you would have put a link to it. That would have been cool.
There is. Well, I didn't want y'all to see it. I wanted to surprise y'all. Don't go through it yet until I can, because I wanna get your opinion on it. Look, if somebody were to come in here and say,
I want to pull them up and look at them.
So and so, I want to surprise you.
Oh, okay.
Don't look. That's why I put it on. I'll put it later.
Anyway, what are we looking at?
So and so is the greatest pitcher of all time. You could have an argument of 10 people that are within that argument.
Greg Maddox.
I would not argue with that, but there are logical arguments around it. This list is absurd.
Okay.
And I think you guys may.
It's a list of what?
I'm sorry. Bikepacking.com released their 13 favorite drop bar bikes
You think
of all
their
time.
sponsor? You think their sponsor money?
No, because the number one doesn't have the money as some of these others. I'll send you guys a link in a minute because I wanted to surprise y'all with this.
Let me guess. Is number one the Ouroboros?
It's not on the list.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. What is the number one? And when you say drop bar bike and it's bikepacking.com, I assume
is it bikepacking specific
they,
drop bar bikes?
Now, they give a history of drop bar bikes.
Mm-hmm.
They talk about their criteria, but the weird thing is their grading system, and I'm being super specific here. Like,
That's fine.
they wrote this to be entertainment and to be educational, but I'm going like, no, this is my life.
Number one's the John Tomac Yeti.
We'll get there.
Okay. I thought you were asking what the number one is.
They do define what they consider a mountain bike, which is essentially
So they are saying
a drop bar
mountain bike.
bike 29 2.2 plus.
Okay.
Oh, so
okay.
it's not gonna be-
That's what they're defining as a drop bar bike.
Right. Okay.
That's it.
I mean, technically, a road bike is a drop bar bike. That's why I was asking.
Right. Sorry.
Yeah.
I drop bar mountain bike.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. That's the clarification we've been looking for.
Well, you
for
guys
the
are asking me
past
so many
5
damn
minutes.
questions. I'm trying to get to all that, but you're just firing away before I can even
Because
talk.
you're going all over the place,
So
man.
tomatoes.
The point I'm trying to make is there's area for opinion, and then there's just stupidity.
Okay.
Okay. They define what a drop bar mountain bike is. They define their criteria, but they don't do a good job of defining it. When you guys see the grading system, you'll understand. Okay.
If you'd only send me a link.
I'm going to.
So what, are we going from 13 up? Is
We're
that
to 13 up.
Wait,
Huh?
what? Okay. All right.
I'll send it to you, and you can look
Well,
at it
but
when you look at me.
no, because I don't have it. So
Oh, that's true. I'm going to send it anyway, so Brad will leave me alone. There it is. All right. Some of these bikes I've never even heard of. Tanglefoot Moonfisher.
no,
can't even
no
access
idea.
that.
No idea.
Okay,
So that's
it's on their homepage.
That's the 13.
That's number 13. It gives the pros and cons, the highlights and the drawbacks of it. I don't even want to talk about it because
Well, okay.
Wait.
What's the frame material on it? Does it say what year it's from?
most of these are steel.
Okay.
Okay, hold
it
on
does-
just
it
a
does-
second. Let me get there, because I want to follow along.
Does it say what year they're from or what era or anything like that?
Some do.
Okay.
This one is modern because the photography is modern on it.
I don't even see it.
Do they give a quick snapshot blurb of why it made the list?
Yes.
Okay. So
The highlights
Tanglefoot.
of the Tanglefoot is very capable all-terrain bicycle, comfortable
Who makes
upright
it?
Tanglefoot.
posture, plenty of mounts, tire clearance is a plus, drop position specific. I don't know what that means. Drop position. I don't know. Drawbacks, it's heavy. Then it says drop specific geometry might not be for everybody. Pricey, but the hard tack is similar and slightly more affordable. That's another whatever. It's ugly.
Okay.
It looks like a.
All right.
It looks like a
Number 12.
Number 12, Velo Orange Piolet.
Okay.
The Velo Orange Piolet is a classic that harkens back to pre-suspension and pre-indexed shifting era in mountain biking. However, the similarities with early mountain biking ends with its looks. Unlike the bikes that initiated the off-road boom in the 1980s, the Piolet features disc brakes, 29 wheel.
Are these all? So these are all modern bikes. It's
Some
the top.
are-
It's
yeah.
the top 13 now or top 13 of all time. I guess I'm a little confused.
Most of them are modern.
Okay, so it's
Some of
current
them are-
top 13.
Yeah. Some of the models are newer than the models that they list. Right. So most of these take place within 2009, I think, is what the date was, or 2007.
Okay.
Okay.
So the bikepacking.com guys have stuff in their garage they're trying to resell. Is what this boils down to.
Okay. Number 11, Salsa Cutthroat.
This is a pretty bogus list. I can tell you that right
Yeah.
now.
Didn't
Yeah.
even make the top 10.
That,
Yeah.
No. There's no.
This is a drawback, Kevin. Carbon isn't for everyone. Well,
Okay, so that's okay. So they're just trying to do contrived diversity to
Well,
get more
this is-
people reading.
This is the same. I guarantee you can find an article from them like 4 years ago when they say carbon is the magic material, where they're just like everything should be carbon.
Well, I mean, every writer's got their own opinion, and
Sure.
so you can't say they.
yeah.
my big deal is with it when they define their criteria for grading these. Nowhere in the criteria does it list bike packing, any kind of specific type of
No, I
usage,
get it.
right?
Yeah.
But all of their negatives and all of their highlights, or not all of their highlights, but a lot of them are specific to bike packing. Like one of the drawbacks for the Cutthroat is no rear rack mounts without a specialized seat collar.
Yeah,
No way to mount a front rack using a crown bolt. That's your downside, and carbon is your downside for this Cutthroat. Seems a little silly.
It is.
Yeah. Like I said, they're just trying to get attention by throwing
Yeah.
that one down.
Yeah.
Down low.
But the crazy thing is the new Cutthroat model sponsored the Bikes of the Tour Divide on bikepacking.com.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
at least they're not,
All right,
towing the line.
all right, so that was number 11. Number 10.
The Kona Sutra Limited.
I don't even know this bike.
How in the hell is the Sutra above? Never mind.
It
Yeah.
looks like a Fargo.
Yeah.
It basically is. Oh, well.
It looks like a straight Fargo ripoff.
I wouldn't call it. Yeah, I mean, they were. Sutra might have actually been out before the Fargo. It may have. It may have. They're very close in
It
age.
says it was released in 2020. I'm going to go with no.
Then I-
Fargo's been around since
No, I understand that. There was another.
2011
Okay. I thought there was another. I think 9, but there was a Kona back then too that was similar. I thought it was a Sutra.
Either way.
I misremembered. All right.
Now, I will say, of all of the bikes so far than the Cutthroat, this is a really cool looking bike. The Curve GMX Plus.
Yeah, it looks.
That's a pretty cool looking bike.
It looks very stretched out.
That's what they say. Read that last line. It's long reach, low stack, and ultra low bottom
right.
bracket offer a unique ride experience.
All right,
Unlike
so the Curve-
unlike the Fargo, it's already throwing shade at your direction.
All right.
That's
So
okay.
the Curve is 9. What's 8?
The Fargo.
Okay.
Yeah, it says the Fargo is now 15 years old.
That would make it 09.
There you go.
The carbon fork might be limiting for some racks and accessories. Well,
Every bike has their drawbacks and limitations.
Well, I can't wait to see or hear the top 3. But all right. So that was 8.
But wait. Let's talk about this real quick. The Fargo, you can mount an anything cage on each fork. The new fork, you could feasibly mount an anything cage front and rear on each fork leg.
yep.
And then on top of that, it's got rack mounts for the rear, fender mounts. So I don't understand how they're even saying that.
Are they saying the drawback of the what do they say the drawback of the Fargo is?
Carbon fork might be limiting for some racks.
What
and
else?
Accessories. Complete build is still pricey. I'm pretty sure that Curve build is higher than the Fargo.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway. All right. So,
All right, moving along.
7.
The Esker Lorax. Which is
It's a good looking bike.
it's a good looking bike, but it looks a lot like a Fargo.
Yeah.
But it's going to be more expensive than a
It's
Fargo.
goddamn right it is.
Yeah.
3,000
Bougie.
complete and a 1,600 frame set.
Yeah.
All right. So 6.
The Kodik Cascade.
Never heard of it. Never
Don't-
seen
yeah.
it.
What stands out about the coccyx?
She fell down and sprained her coccyx. Tubing design and selection makes for a comfy ride that's still responsive and quick. Super stable geometry makes for a very confident descender when compared to other bikes in the drop bar 29er category. Tire clearance, 29 up to 29 2.4. Good selection of mounts and provisions. Drawbacks are rear bike rack mount position is fiddly, and 3 pack mounts under the down tuber position too high. Dropper routing port is too small. Flat mount brake could pose some challenges as a flat bar bike. Why would you judge a drop bar mountain bike on whether or not you can convert it to
all
a
right.
flat bar?
So that was 6.
That was 6. Number 5, Black Mountain La Cabra.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, I mean,
Once again, it looks like a Fargo.
yeah. Number 4, the Surly Grappler, which I've heard good things about this other than it's heavy, which they talk about it being fairly heavy.
And it's a 27.5, right?
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Which, it comes 27.5, but you can put 29ers on it. It's not offered as stock 29.
So
Okay.
you can spend another $1,200 on tires and wheels.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
If you're defining your criteria by a 29er, why are you putting your number 4 bike, which comes as a 27.5?
Yeah.
Come on, guys, do better.
And then even at a 27.5, they're saying a high bottom bracket makes it feel a little timid on steep, gnarly terrain. And then their drawback is not offered with stock 29er wheels and tires.
But it's
But that
5 or 4.
Number 4.
Now, this next bike is probably the sexiest one on the list.
Oh, and this is 3.
Number
correct?
number 3. This is the Pipe Dream Alice.
That is a
Alice
sexy
stands
looking
for all your base are all-purpose lightweight individual carrying equipment. But it's a really good-looking bike. Comes with some really cool
bike.
colors.
What a
It's more
dumb fucking name.
Yeah, it is. Like, what is wrong with people? The bike's good looking.
Okay.
is.
It has
who's the builder again?
Alice. Oh
No.
no, I'm sorry. Pipe Dream.
Pipe dream.
I don't know who that is. Is that
Me
They're out
neither.
of England.
okay?
England.
Okay.
They have. I'm assuming they're from England because one of their colors is British Racing Green.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a
Okay.
good looking bike.
Number 2, the Otso Finrear,
Never heard of it.
which I think Finrear is wolf in Norse.
I mean,
Nordic?
it sounds Norseland, but
What's up with that saddle?
It's tiny. It's for little bottoms.
It's a good looking bike though.
It is a good looking bike.
Yeah.
All right. And
Number 1.
Yeah.
Wait, hold up. I wanted to see what their drawbacks.
Okay.
Stack is a little too high for flat bars. Why do they give a fuck about flat bars?
This is a drop bar competition.
Yeah, and then they're saying it's expensive. Yeah.
All right. Number 1.
The Tumbleweed Stargazer.
Don't know anything about it.
Man, I guarantee you.
Did they pay for this? It only has one drawback.
Which is?
The 450 millimeter chainstay length might be too long for some, and no adjustable
It
dropouts.
doesn't look very long. I mean, that
I
wheel.
I can't. You got like smudges all over your
That
screen.
wheel is tucked up next to this seat post.
This is weird.
I'm going to call bullshit.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Huh.
Oh, I didn't even read the comments. I should have read the comments.
I bet that's interesting.
Oh yeah.
And don't get me wrong. I'm not saying the Cutthroat should be number 1 on an appropriate list. I'm not saying it should be number 1.
Sure.
But towards the top of the heap.
There's a reason it's so ubiquitous.
Yes.
I mean, it should be top 5. I mean,
Yeah.
but here's the thing. I'm like, bikepacking is different to some people. Some people it's riding gravel roads for 100 miles at a time, and some people it's riding trail.
Oh.
And
The the bikepacking.com crew, at least a few years back, I think they're starting to come around some. They didn't even recognize that anything but single track epic trail, that's the only way you could bike pack. That's the only. It's like, hey, I'd love to do that around here. It's not here.
well, and I could see where the the Cutthroat wouldn't be the tool for that. The Cutthroat's more keen on being on gravel roads.
Again, without knowing what their criteria was or what they were rating again, I'm still saying that this is mostly stuff that they've got sitting around collecting dust from their demo bikes that they're.
Yeah,
we're going to put it towards the top of the list and put it on buy bike.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't agree with their list, but then again, I'm not versed in the top 5. I don't even think I knew.
I guess my point of view on it is some of these esoteric brands that they're throwing out there. I would think there should be a threshold of available most anywhere to most anyone sort of thing, because the reality is, okay, if we're gonna get esoteric and bougie, it's like, well, I can go to Carl Strong and just have a custom bike made and it's going to beat all those.
Yeah, that's true.
I can go to Chumba and get them to make me a bike. Probably going to be better than any of those.
Yeah, someone in the comments talked about the Yalpin and said, how could that not be in the list?
That's what I'm saying. I'll be on. Yeah.
Yeah, that was silly.
I'm going to call bullshit.
Yeah.
And they're welcome. Bikepacking.com is welcome to join us and tell us how wrong we are. Please do.
Do you think they could find anything to tell us?
I wonder if this was just something that was thrown together pretty quick, and I wonder how many people collabed on this. That would be one of my. I haven't read it, but I haven't read the whole article.
My guess is there was no collab. This is one person's opinion.
Yeah.
Because how many people are going to have exposure to all of these bikes?
And it was collaborative because the article starts off with, over the decade we've seen more and more off-road bikes built specifically around drop bars. Blah blah blah. It talks about we've had the opportunity to ride a bunch. And list what we feel are the 13 best drop bar mountain bikes, based on votes from our team of editors here at Bikepacking.com. I mean, Neil Belchenko wrote it.
I understand. No, and that's what I'm saying.
I mean, he's ridden more miles than I have.
No, and that's what I'm saying. Neil's probably the only one that has exposure to all these bikes.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, he's maybe tentatively labeling stuff as a we, the royal we, but it's, here's what I think. And I mean, he's welcome to have those opinions for himself, and that's I get. If he wants to say, in my world, in my experience, for the way I like to ride, these are my favorite bikes. That's a different list than here's the top 13 drop bar mountain bikes available to everybody. Yeah, I don't buy it. But again, I'm not reading the article, so I don't know all the details. Maybe it wasn't presented that way.
Yeah, kind of.
I mean, like if I wrote a top 10 bikepacking list, it would be
completely different
than anybody else's.
Exactly. And
so
if it's positioned that way, then I have more respect for that list. But if it's positioned as
this is it,
these are the best ever.
It does say our.
That's what I'm saying.
Favorite drop bar.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Throwing that plurality in there. I think it's counterproductive.
But I mean, I would have honestly, just for the fact that there's cutthroats everywhere, it should have been higher in the list. I mean, there's a reason that they're everywhere.
Well, we are back to the availability aspect of it. So that, I mean, which I mean, that's relative as well, because there were definitely, over the course of time, there were 3 times I was ready to pull the trigger on a cutthroat and they just weren't there to be had. So,
Speaking of salsa, transition a little over. Did you guys see the new Storm Chasers? Did you guys talk about that before?
No.
Did not.
So there's 2 new Storm Chasers out.
Is it single speed? Are they single speed only?
No, they're geared.
They're geared, but they both come with. There's a GRX 810 version, one by, and there's a Apex Eagle. Both come with suspension forks.
Oh, really?
Yes, and the price is pretty.
Is it on the Salsa page?
Yeah, it's there now. They are both aluminum, though. That's the only downside of the Storm Chaser.
But the Storm Chaser's always been
they have
aluminum.
But I don't think these new ones have the sliding dropouts. I can't tell in the photo.
I see the new Cutthroat on their front page.
It's really not super new. It's new, but it's not like. I mean, it's basically they've done some updates to reinforce.
Did y'all see the new State all-road that came out?
To say again?
State Bikes released a titanium all-road yesterday, I do believe.
Ooh. Looky.
I think it's like a $3,000 complete bike, maybe even less.
I'm waiting for the internet to load.
Maybe we'll talk about it next week.
Available now, Titanium All-Road. Is that just the name of the bike, Titanium All-Road?
I think that's what they call it.
Yeah, 2,500.
2,500 complete.
For titanium?
Yeah.
What? Who is what?
It's Timu Titanium.
Timu.
Carbon fork.
Yeah. You can, let's see.
With 45s.
Who is it again?
State Bicycle Company.
Oh, that's if you do State. Okay, so that's with their stock all-road 700C or 650B wheels. But you can add DT Swiss.
Yeah,
or
you can upgrade.
Yeah, no.
That's what it was. I added some upgrade that took it, when I priced it out, took it to Thomas. That's what it was. I can't remember what I added.
Yeah, that's a good looking bike for $2,500.
These damn bike companies are now offering bikes with Afterpay. I'm in trouble.
They got to do something, right?
That's a good looking bike. I do
is.
like the oil slick decals, and then that kind of textured brushed titanium.
It's all tiny.
Have you found the tire width up to set 47? I think. Yeah, that's proper for a all road.
Yeah, for an all road, and it comes with 45. So
Yeah.
if it comes with 45s, I'm happy.
No, it comes with 47s. Torino 47s.
Oh, does it come with 47s?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Or is that the 650B? 700
For both 650 or 700. Yeah.
I must have.
When you're building it, you can even choose your tire color, black or tan wall.
You know where I'm going.
Yeah, know which way Caleb's going.
Give me them tannies. I don't have a single bike with tan walls right now.
You've come so far. Little babies all
I
growed
didn't say
up.
I didn't own tan walls in the garage.
Little babies all growed up.
I'm gonna be a big girl one day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I noticed this right before we showed up. Did you guys see the new, brand spanking new Sun Hub?
No.
It's tiny. And remember, we had a conversation not too long ago about how the current hubs have a hard time putting out enough juice to power the USB 3 devices. Apparently, this is a much smaller, no more bulb. It's physically smaller, and it produces up to, I think it says it at 15 kilometers an hour, it's putting out 6 volts, which is enough to power a light and charge your devices. And I'm assuming it's 2024 when he says devices, he's talking about modern devices that are on
I don't
USB
see
3.
it.
It's at the bottom of the show notes.
Oh, I'm on Sun's website.
Oh no, it's Bike Rumor right underneath the blue link right here.
Bike rumor
okay.
is premature sometimes.
Yeah, look here, Kevin. You can't even see it.
Oh my gosh. I just deleted it.
Can you just hit undo? Do you know how to undo? Have you ever seen that before?
Can I undo?
Hit the command button. Hold the command button and hit Z.
Oh, perfect.
There it is.
But it's not a clickable link.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. My bad. I just work here.
Oh my God, I deleted it. What do I do now? Call tech support.
Man, that thing is tiny.
Isn't it tiny?
Yeah.
The Sun 29S.
I've heard that so many times.
It's a hub so tiny. How tiny is it? It disappears behind your brake rotor, they say.
Wow.
I mean, that doesn't look like you're riding around on a hub and a dynamo hub anymore.
Yeah.
I may know what I need to get for myself for my birthday.
I wonder what the weight is compared to the old one. That's an interesting hub flange, though, on the disc brake side. It's through spokes. Oh, it's through spokes on both sides. Oh, okay, straight pull. Huh, interesting. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. I like it a lot.
Super pumped about that.
Yeah.
Kevin, I have a question for you.
Shoot.
Do you know offhand, I'm not relying on it, I can find my way around, but in a couple of weeks I'm headed to kind of the northeast side of Breckenridge, over the other side of the mountain, to do some camping and fishing. And I'm driving up there, I'm thinking about bringing my bike.
Okay.
And I'm looking for, I don't know, maybe a 15, 20, maybe 30 mile gravel loop in that area. I'm sure I can.
I don't.
Do you know that area well?
No, not northeast of Breckenridge. I haven't spent any time in the wilderness up there yet.
For all our thousands of listeners in the Colorado area, if you've got some routes for me, reach out and touch us.
or just hit the Colorado Trail.
Oh, is it in that area?
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of
Shit, yeah. I could do that.
Speaking of Breckenridge, just thinking about bears. I saw a bear in Mena.
Did you?
Yeah, we were barely.
Oh.
We weren't even on to Adam's property yet. We turned the corner and there's a black bear, pretty big little juvenile, hanging out. And we spooked it and it ran off and stood in the edge of the woods and was just looking at us. And I was like, good thing Hoyt wasn't here.
No. Yeah, I mean, if Hoyt was there, you wouldn't have seen it. It
Exactly.
would have been invisible.
He wouldn't have seen it.
He wouldn't have seen it.
Yeah.
Y'all have lost me. You got
We
to
went
fill in the
on
blanks
Wood
here.
Ape, on the first successful attempt of the Wood Ape Ramble. We were coming down that big power line easement, the big hike-a-bike section, and we were coming down and maybe 200 yards across, so all the way down to the bottom, and then halfway back up, we saw a mom walking with 2 cubs. Wasn't that right? Mom with 2 cubs? And literally, there's 12 of us, 10 of us.
At least, yeah.
Everyone saw it except Hoyt. And he's convinced that we're...
And McAfee didn't see it.
He didn't see it either?
Uh-uh.
Hoyt's convinced we were just lying, but we really did see it. But
Oh, yeah.
now the ongoing joke is Hoyt doesn't see bears.
Yeah.
Because he was literally looking like...
And
If
he
it would have
was
been a
so
snake,
bent
it would
about
have...
it, too.
Yeah.
He was so bent.
He was let
Oh,
down.
man, you guys saw a bear?
I wanted to see a bear, too. What kind was it? How big was it? Was it eating? What was it eating? If I tell you the story of his son picking up a scorpion off the ground and eating it?
No.
He's raising a little Bear Grylls, by the way.
Yeah.
This kid is Survivor Man. Like, I'm rooting for him of all things in life. He's such a cool kid. He's not a kid anymore. He's like 15 now.
Yeah, he wants to do alone.
And yes, I think he would probably be successful. We were working, we had a volunteer day at the South Lakes Trail. And that's when we were building a berm. And I had him off to the side, like cutting a bypass around the berm and whatever. And he walked up to me and goes, "Hey, look at this." And he's holding a scorpion, a decent sized scorpion, business card sized scorpion. And he's holding it and dangling it and playing with it. And it is alive. And he reaches, and he's holding it by the stinger.
Okay.
And he reaches underneath where he's holding the stinger and grabs the tail and then pops the stinger off down the hatch right there in front of me. Chews it up and walks off. I'm like, that kid is a man. I don't have the... Scorpions is one thing I'm afraid of. I don't know if it's a phobia, but I'm afraid of scorpions.
They freaked me out when I was a kid living in Louisiana. Our house backed up to, it was nothing but pine trees, and on a weekly basis I would open up, pull back the shower curtain, there would be a scorpion in the bathtub. And at one point when I was about 8 years old, we were laying on the carpet in the living room watching a movie.
Yeah.
And something just lit me up on my pinky toe and freaked me out, and pulled back the covers. My dad was going, what happened? I go, I don't know. And he ran his hands across the carpet, and all of a sudden the scorpion just pops up out of the carpet.
Yes.
So
they can completely flatten themselves.
Well, apparently they can just go between the weave of the carpet.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't shag carpet, but it was high pile,
I blame my fear on my mom, because when I was about 6 or 7 years old, we had this dark brown carpet.
Mm-hmm.
And there were 3 in our living room one night, and we didn't see them, and then we saw them, and from what I remember, my mom was saying, "Oh my God, imagine how it would have been so awful." So as a kid, it just completely traumatized me. I told you about the one that came back from Spindustry Palooza in my shoes, right?
Yes.
That
You
thing
did.
flattened itself down completely.
Yeah.
We thought we killed it, and then Kay kind of scooped it up with a piece of cardboard, and it plumped itself up again and ran off. And we had to kill it again. We had to kill his ass twice.
So they didn't have a protocol. My parents took me to the hospital, and they didn't have a protocol for any of this.
Well, I mean, they're not going to kill you.
No, but they didn't know that at the hospital.
Okay.
And so as a child, I was like, what's going on? They put a tourniquet on my leg.
Oh, yeah. I see what you're getting at. They literally didn't know what to do.
No,
they didn't know if you were going to
Yeah, they didn't know.
get sick or not.
They didn't have the Googleizer back
No,
then.
and they sent the scorpion off to toxicology to see what the potency of the poison or
They
venom
didn't have
or whatever.
books on that? Read a book.
I don't know. And so as a kid, I'm in the dark
It
going,
is,
what's
it is
going on?
Louisiana.
But I'm
so-
going, what's going on? I was scared. They put ice on my leg, and they checked on me every hour, and I had to stay in the hospital overnight.
Was it equivalent to like a wasp?
Yeah, that's what they finally came back and said. It's no worse than a red wasp.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, so I'm going to live? And they're like, yeah. And so after that, I developed this habit of I cocooned myself at night. Like I couldn't sleep unless I was completely covered and wrapped and tucked and everything.
That's why you like hammocks.
That may be part of it.
Yeah, it could be. There was a very long time that I did not like to walk through my house barefooted.
Oh, yeah.
And that could be a reason why it took me years to
Yeah.
to walk around the house barefooted for that very reason, because I was freaked out. I wouldn't even I purposely wouldn't go to that section of the carpet in our living room for years. I would avoid this one part of our
Did you get
house.
stung by one? Did I miss
No,
that?
I've never been stung.
You just saw it.
It just, Kathy Wheels freaked out, and Kathy Wheels freaks out, everybody freaks out.
Okay.
Kind of one of those kind of things.
Huh. All right.
Yeah. So this is another perfect segue.
Okay.
I get these. I subscribe to Texas Monthly, and when you kind of fill out your preferences for their online site of stories you like to read, they have a Texas Nature section, and where's it at? Oh, I missed the thing. They sent me a link for a story about coral snakes, and I found it very interesting. But you gents talk amongst yourselves, because I closed the tab out, and I need to find it.
Oh, I erased it.
You probably did.
Command Z.
There it is.
Yep.
So anyway,
Learned a new one today.
every month or so, you'll get a couple of different stories, and they got this new story. The Texas coral snake just wants to be left alone.
Most snakes won't want to be left alone.
Yes. So I found it interesting, and I kind of went through a rabbit hole. We'll talk about this, and then we'll go into hawks. Do you know what classification a coral snake is?
What do you mean?
Like, what is this? What kind of species is it of snake?
I don't know. It's
So
venomous.
it's not a pit viper. I know that.
No. But it's
No,
venomous.
it's a part of the cobra, mamba, and mamba family.
Okay, makes
It
sense.
is the
That sounds spicy.
Padea family. Anyway, I thought that was interesting, and it went into the whole history around red and yellow and all that shit. But they're saying don't trust that, because there are such things as
Typical.
pigmented defects, genetic defects, and albinos. Anyway, you're not going to die. There's only been like one recorded death, and it was in Brazil. Anyway, I just thought it was interesting
That
because
wasn't a Texas coral snake.
that wasn't a Texas coral snake.
Well, it may have been. Chaos may have taken it down there.
So the point of it is probably not going to die, but they say the only more venomous creature that causes more pain is a black widow, so it'd be considered the second worst pain. I've never been stung by black widow or any of that shit. Have you? Anyone?
No. Well,
Or know anybody?
not black widows. I know people that have been bitten by the brown recluse.
Oh, I would almost bet big money that I've been bitten by a brown recluse numerous times. I read an article the other day that said, we have this false thought that brown recluses send you to the hospital, but brown recluses are everywhere in Texas, and they said it's almost without a doubt that over the course of your life, if you don't just live indoors, you've been bit by a brown recluse and don't even realize it.
So
they're not as potent as everybody thinks they are.
Or maybe some aren't as others.
That's probably fair statement as well.
And based on how,
Because I know people that have had serious issues from the brown recluse.
I know one of Kay's friends has had basically a golf ball sized pit dug out of the inside of her thigh.
Yeah.
To have to remove.
Can they shoot
tissue.
webs now?
Oh, that's a good question. I've never asked her before.
Speaking of spiders and potency and blah blah blah, we saw a whole cluster of daddy longlegs. I'm sure there's a fancier name for them. Just this mass of them on this board that Thornton had us place.
You sure not talking about the hair on your legs?
No. And I was telling Glenn, the guy from Houston, I said, that's one of the most venomous spiders.
Okay, is that for real, or is that just a wives' tale?
Yeah, and if they could physically bite you, it would.
But why would they have venom if they can't bite you?
They can't bite humans.
Why?
Just because the way their mouth structure and the thickness of our skin. I don't know. I'm not a. But
Daddy longlegs are the most venomous spider. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I've read. That's what I've heard.
I've never heard that one.
If only there was a way to verify.
I know.
I don't know what they're really called.
I'm not gonna.
Can you check PolitiFact for that?
I'm not gonna.
Oh, look at this. The first thing that pulls up. Have you heard this one? Daddy longlegs are one of the most poisonous spiders, but their fangs are too short to bite humans. This tale has been lurking around for years. I have heard it repeatedly in the United States and even heard a school teacher misinforming her class at a museum in Brisbane, Australia. This is incorrect, but to clarify it, several points need to be explained first. Definitions. One area of confusion is with the terms venomous and poisonous, which are not interchangeable. I said venomous.
Okay.
Venomous means an organism.
It means you don't want to eat them.
Yeah, venomous means an organism has specific glands for the production of venom, ducts to convey the venom through hardened structures, fangs, sting, for hypodermic introduction into a
Hoyt's
target
kid does not want to eat daddy longlegs.
However, venomous is an anatomical description and does not necessarily imply a universal effect. Okay, the correct, similarly poisonous is the correct term for having a negative effect on a target organism is toxic. Cobras are venomous because they have venom, which can have a negative effect on some mammals, such as humans. I'm trying to get to the point, sorry.
We'll edit this one.
No, most folks who retell this tale have no idea that they are referring to two completely separate groups of animals, daddy longlegs and daddy longlegs spiders, in the animal class Arachnidae. There are several lower level divisions called orders. Scorpions are in the order Scorpiones. Spiders are in the order Araneae, and ticks and mites are in the... Okay, so is it right or not? All right, too much reading. TLDR.
Okay, so we'll just cut that whole part.
Yeah, that's fine.
Command Z.
So it got me... I did lose all these links.
Command Z.
Oh, I know what it was that they had said. Hold on, let me say. We're gonna have to edit a bunch of this shit out. Okay.
Y'all are killing me.
I know.
We do this better when we don't have a sandbox.
No. Typically, the list. What had happened was I closed down all my tabs. Okay.
Jesus.
That article about the coral snake, it said that Texas has 15 different
varieties
of snakes that are venomous, dangerous, potentially hazardous, whatever the thing is that you just said.
Yeah.
Can you guys name, how many of the 15 do you think you can name?
I've got at least 8.
Okay.
Probably.
But it's
Okay.
how many of them are different varieties of rattlesnake?
You have a timber rattler. You have a pygmy rattler. You have we have eastern diamondbacks. We also have western diamondbacks.
Wrong. We don't have eastern diamondbacks.
We don't have eastern.
I verified that because I thought we did too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You have coral snakes. You have copperheads.
Yep.
Water moccasins.
Mojave rattlers. We have the
Sidewinder. No, I'm kidding.
I think we do have the Sidewinder,
I don't
actually.
think so.
No. Okay.
No. So what I love about this is Texas Parks and Wildlife. What I love about this is they classify the coral snake as a North American cobra. I think that's just cool as shit, man. We have cobras. I did not know it was cobras. Okay, so we'll start there. That is the only cobra in North America is the coral snake, and yes, we have them here in Texas. Then they have the pit vipers, right? What are our pit vipers? Copperheads, cottonmouths, rattlesnakes.
Yeah.
But there's only one cottonmouth, and there's pretty much only one copperhead, right?
Yeah.
They're kind of pretty much the same. Rattlesnakes. Western Massasauga.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that. Desert Massasauga. Western Diamondback. Timber. Mottled rock.
Yeah.
Mottled rock.
I don't know that one.
It is a light bream or pink background with widely spaced dark crossbands and mottled areas between the crossbands.
Never heard of it.
Small in center with an average length of about 2 feet, found in the mountainous areas of West Texas.
It's West Texas.
A rock rattlesnake. That would make sense. Banded rock. It is similar to the mottled, but darker, greenish gray. Found only in the extreme western tip of Texas, just the tip. The blacktail.
Don't know that one either.
Central through most of west. Find them in bushes and rocky ledges. Average length 3.5 feet. Mojave.
Those are the badass mothers.
Yeah, but they're smaller and more slender than the westerns.
but they're very mean.
They're the mean boys.
They are.
For the record, rattlesnake is delicious. By the way,
I've had rattlesnake.
I've had fresh rattlesnake, and it is fantastic.
One more, the prairie rattlesnake.
Yeah.
My uncle, he died years and years and years ago, but his business for decades was in the rattlesnake trade. Was he
big in Sweetwater?
He was in that ESPN documentary.
Oh yeah.
That they had, and he had a giant metal storage building in his backyard, and he lived in Farmers Branch, maybe the size of the shop, and he had above ground pools, and that's where he would keep them, and he would make different things out of them. And we had rattlesnake meat one time, and it's okay.
It's like a cross between chicken wings, flats, and like frog legs, kind of, but it's sweet.
It reminded me of alligator a little bit.
The white alligator.
White meat
the
alligator.
stuff I had was a lot more tender than any alligator I've ever had.
Okay.
Maybe
it was just the way it was
almost
prepared.
flaky.
I've had the tender, flaky alligator.
Yeah.
It's very rare though.
Yeah.
All right.
Bicycles.
I got one more topic that's non-bicycle. Do we need more beers?
Can you grab one more?
But you're gonna love this one. Right?
I know.
And then we'll talk about bikes. We went from the 15 poisonous snakes in Texas. I had to go to hawks.
Yeah.
I had to go to birds of prey. Right?
Yes, I love birds of prey.
How many? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Texas Parks and Wildlife. Eagles, falcons, ospreys, harriers, and hawks.
Yeah.
22 variations.
That's freaking awesome.
It's amazing. And I did not realize how many different types of hawks there are. Now, of all of us, you should own this category.
Man, I know quite a few of them, but I don't know all of them.
All right.
I know we have kites here as well, which I think those fall into falcons.
They don't list a kite.
No?
So for eagles, we have bald eagles and golden eagles.
Mm-hmm.
For falcons, we have prairie.
Well, we also have Mexican eagles too.
I think that's golden.
No.
No?
It's I think it's a caracara. I think that's what it is.
No, I saw caracara under something else.
Caracara is a hawk.
Is a falcon.
Oh, it's a falcon.
Yeah, crested caracara is a falcon.
But we have Mexican eagles too. They're over, obviously, near Mexico.
I did not know we had ospreys in Texas.
Yeah.
Ospreys are cool birds.
Yeah, these birds are really incredible looking. So we have the prairie falcon, the peregrine.
So owls don't count as birds of prey?
They do.
They do, but this was hawks, eagles, and falcons.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That makes sense. Hawks, eagles, falcons, ospreys, harriers.
Yeah, a caracara is a Mexican eagle.
Well, they're listing a crested caracara as a falcon. Whatever.
Yeah.
American kestrel, Merlin. That wraps up falcons. Then we have an osprey. We have the northern harrier. Those are two single in their own category. And then hawks. We have the broadwing hawk, the red-tailed hawk, Swainson's hawk.
Yeah, we have a red-shouldered hawk.
Red shoulder, sharp-shinned. Cooper.
Yeah, Cooper's
is a smaller hawk. Rough-legged.
You have a split tail.
Would that be the Mini Cooper?
It's actually Cooper's hawk.
Yeah, it is. It's plural. Harris's.
No, it's possessive.
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 Yeah.
There's more than one, so yeah, it's plural.
No, it's a top comma.
That's a top comma?
Top comma.
You got that from your brother Red, didn't you?
No.
Top comma. Common black hawk. I'm going to butcher this. Ferruginous? Ferruginous?
No clue. Is that a type of rock?
Yeah. Ferruginous. And then whitetail, and then zone-tailed. I think I've seen the zone-tailed out there. I thought that was a whitetail, but it was a zone-tail.
I'm going to have to go back to my bird book and look.
Yeah. Does anybody have bikes they want to talk about?
I rode my bike again today. Today's my 11th day in a row.
Damn, that's awesome.
Felt pretty good.
Man.
We had a good ride last night.
You're living my old life.
We had a good ride last night. Good group. We rode. Well, we took Bonnie Bray yesterday into town. All red's good to go, just like you said.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all good now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I rode it on Monday, and I couldn't even get I rode it on Sunday, and I could ride through it. It was fine. So whatever that bar ditch they dug that you guys couldn't get, it was totally fine. And then I rode Monday morning right before that rain came in.
Yeah.
I couldn't even get 15 yards in it. It was so muddy. So I had to turn around and come out.
Yeah.
And then on the way back, we drug everybody through the ditch and hit the trails and came across the dam and did the Wiggly Park, some of that trail, just a very little bit.
Is that tree still down? I haven't been out to.
No.
Someone cut it down?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, there's somebody else is out there.
The one at Corbin Low Water, though, is still there.
Yeah, I know. I saw it. I know what you're talking about. And I now, because you were trying to explain it to me last week, and I wasn't having any of it.
Yeah. I was trying to tell you you're probably going to need a hand.
And I think that tree is down on the other side of the fence. There's a fence through there on that guy's property.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, and I think that tree's on his fence.
Yeah.
Fence line.
Well, we could probably cut the limb that's on the ground, and maybe the tree won't fall, and you can still ride under it, but I don't know. Because it's up above. There's trees on the trails over by South Lakes as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We got to a part where we had to dismount and everything.
God, I got to get out there and start working on it. Is he getting beers?
Maybe.
Kevin, what about you? Please tell me you have something. It's a slow week, isn't it?
Yeah, what's going on with your orange bike?
Oh, just today was acoustic bike day, and I was going to grab that one and can't get the rear tire to see, so I just asked if they'd give it a burp for me.
Hey, what are you going to do when someone shows up to a spinistry race on a confluence or something like that?
I'm not sure I followed the question.
Yeah, what's going to happen when somebody shows up on an e-bike?
It's been happening for years.
Oh, really?
Has it?
They just don't get.
You can't race it.
Okay. No, well, that's.
No.
I mean, I know you're not going to prevent someone, but I didn't know what your stance was on it. On as far as.
No,
that.
I mean, well, a couple years ago, our insurance didn't allow for it, so we had to not allow then. But we're using different insurance now, so as long as it's non-competitive, e-bikes are not an issue.
Yeah, when I went and did El Paso Puzzler, I don't even know what year it was. It must have been 19 or something.
Mike Baker's from El Paso.
He is.
You know how I know that?
He told you.
Because he told you like 11 times.
Every
Cheers.
time you see him.
There were 3 separate people. I'm working my ass off on a single speed, and I hear, "Ride her back." And so I get out of the way, and it's somebody on an e-bike, and they've got a number plate. And so when we got done, there was a couple other people that were bitching about it, and we went and disputed it. We're like, these guys are racing on e-bikes. Do you guys have an e-bike category? And they're like, absolutely not. And so they went and took their number plates from them and disqualified them.
Okay.
But my point was, you shouldn't have the right-of-way on the trail when somebody's putting in way more work than you.
Ooh, shots fired.
So here's the issue with that.
I'm racing legally, you're racing illegally, and you're going to make me give up my momentum so
Nobody
you can come by.
Nobody knows what trail etiquette is anymore, regardless. It's all
that's
anarchy
fair.
out there right now.
That's fair.
So, I mean, yeah. I'm not going to go there, but
We like it when you go there.
no, because I'm going to throw somebody under the bus that will be taken the wrong way. But so I won't do that because
You can just leave it at people are assholes.
I'm going to take the high road. Actually, so I did have a little interesting bicycle experience yesterday. Now that I think about it.
Oh, nice.
Talk to us.
I'm going to leave you hanging though. I'm going to tell you that right now because if you want to know the end of the story, you're going to have to watch the video when it comes out in a few days.
You told us that we wouldn't be interested in your video, so now you're telling me to go watch your video.
Yeah, this will be a different one.
Okay.
So, I had to find out what the range on my e-bike was yesterday
Okay.
in turbo mode. So the idea is, okay, I'll do it in turbo mode first, And when I get a little bit stronger, then I'll do it in the next level down. The next level, eventually I'll do it in eco mode. And is it good for 80 miles, 100 miles, or whatever?
Okay.
And
so clarify what terrain were you riding?
So to keep it consistent, I did Texas Motor Speedway, Victory Circle, 5 mile loops.
Okay.
That's a beating.
Yeah, I bet.
That's a beating. And I did my most laps in one go that I've ever done out there.
And you're doing turbo mode.
At my heart rate of 130.
And you're keeping it consistent.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to guess 65 miles.
No. The maximum range on that bike in eco mode is supposed to be 60 or 70 miles.
Oh, okay. 40 miles.
43 miles.
So.
Oh, he's going to leave us hanging. I forgot. Our guesses are futile.
The computer estimated 28 miles when I started out. It said, in this mode, your range should be 28 miles. And a lap of Texas Motor Speedway is 5 miles.
Okay.
So if you do the math, that if the computer's right, that would be a failure at basically the furthest out point.
Yeah.
From the start point. We did ride to failure, I will say that.
Who's this we? You got a mouse in your pocket?
My prison pocket. But anyway.
So the bike, you rode it until it died?
I ultimately made the point to ride it until it died.
Okay. And how big of a bear was it to ride it after it died?
It sucked.
Yeah.
It sucked bad.
So when we were in Mena on the last day, Smith's bike died. Luckily, the majority of it was downhill. Yeah. But we had to end up sending a vehicle back for him.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe. Yeah. So that confluence. No, if it dies, no problem. You're riding a bike.
It's like a real bike, just with a roll off on the back.
Yeah. That tributary. You don't want to ride that to failure. And on top of that, it like scares you to death with all sorts of scary messages.
When it's getting low?
No, when it dies and then you plug it back in, it's
not happy.
No.
So you're not supposed to run it on E.
Don't take them down to E.
Yeah.
Don't. Which I find that difficult because
Did it reduce power once you got below 20%?
It output was noticeably reduced, but it didn't give a message or anything like that. But it was like, this isn't turbo mode any longer. But it didn't. But it was still showing that I was in turbo mode. It wasn't not.
Way to go!
Hey, wow!
Just put that anywhere.
Tell you what.
So I learned some new stuff. I mean, obviously everything was new to me this past weekend, but the bike that I was renting, and I'm sure it's not the only one, it would tell me periodically to shift. Like if it thought I was in the wrong gear or something, it would be like shift up or shift down, which I thought was a little goofy. But the other thing I learned is Shannon and Glenn both had the same bike. It's a Pivot. I want to say it's a shuttle, but I don't think that's right. And they both have battery extenders on theirs, and they ran them on the one day.
So they've got multiple e-bikes?
No. Shannon and Glenn were both riding the same model bike. They had.
I thought they had Orbeas.
That's it. It is Orbea. My bad.
Okay.
They're Orbeas. I don't know why I said Pivot. But and they have
the range extenders.
They have range extenders, which I didn't realize this, but the range extender, you have to run that dead first. You can't run your bike dead and then plug your extender in. It doesn't work like that.
Okay.
The range extender is basically like if you fill up your gas tank and then you have a little bit more, but you have to burn that first.
You have to burn the auxiliary tank first.
Yeah, because we were riding with them, and funny enough, they were running two different modes. Shannon's is all mapped out. He's got an app, and you can change all the settings and everything. And Glenn was running a lower setting, and their battery extenders both died at like within 100 feet of each other on really technical trail.
Okay.
So it was pretty interesting to see how straight across the board that was. And the other thing that was interesting is, since we're all on e-bikes, I think there was 8 of us or 7 of us, we're, you know, when we get to like regroup or whatever, we're all going 58%, 60%, just to see where everybody kind of is. That was pretty interesting too. But I never worried about anything on that bike other than the drivetrain that I completely tried to destroy. But it was just interesting. I didn't realize that battery extenders work like that. I thought you could just have it in your backpack, and if your battery died, you could just plug it in and you have a little bit extra juice. But I learned that that's not the way. So
I don't have a range extender yet. I don't know that they're available for that one. It's one of those back-ordered things from Salsa.
yeah.
But now I'm debating if I even want to make that investment, because those damn things are expensive. My other learning is that, and I mean, it shows how out of the loop I am on e-bikes, is that evidently all of the bike computers just automatically recognize e-bikes as a sensor now. So you can get all your e-bike information on your Garmin or your Wahoo
I saw that.
or whatever else.
I read that in an update that
Well, I couldn't-
Garmin pushed out.
I couldn't connect my e-bike because it was still connected to an account. So
Interesting.
it wouldn't let me. I downloaded the app and everything, and it wouldn't let me connect to the bike because it was still somebody was still
it's saying
registered.
it belonged to somebody else.
Yeah. So I didn't have all of the UI
Interesting.
stuff that I would have liked to have had. I couldn't connect my Garmin to it, so I ran a Garmin. And
I mean, did you try connecting the Garmin directly to the bike, or were you trying to do it through an app?
well, the bike wouldn't allow anything to connect to it because it was still registered to another person.
Okay.
So I did not try to connect the Garmin. I was trying to.
I haven't run into that with either of ours where.
Yeah, but you're the first owner.
But
This was
two.
this was a loaner bike, and
I
somebody
I understand it, but it's
Yeah.
two different people, two different devices that have logged onto it, and we didn't set up. I'm just saying, I haven't run into that with multiple devices on either of our bikes.
Yeah.
But it could very well be a Cannondale thing. I'm
Yeah.
not knocking it. So,
But I mean, other than that, and I wouldn't say that. If anything, it probably made my experience better
sure.
because I had less
Because
shit to worry
you
about.
weren't fussing with stuff.
Yeah.
So what was the for you? What was the I don't know, biggest eye opener or most enlightening, or did anything surprise you or better than you expected or not what you expected?
So
or?
there was a couple of moments that I was just like, this is freaking awesome. When we rode down from Adam's house to get to the trail, you get on, it's an old Forest Service road maybe that's borderline unmaintained. It's super chunky. And when I say chunky, I mean rocks the size of your fist. And we're talking doing 17 miles an hour on it, climbing, like a slight climb.
Right.
And not only did I not feel like I was pushing myself super hard, but the bike just ate everything up. I mean, it was just smooth as could be. That, and once again, that very first day, I mean, I was grinning from ear to ear anyways, but after doing the downhill runs a couple of times, Adam and I both looked at each other and were like, you want to hit it again? And we were both like, why not? But because you have to climb this whole trail just to get back up to the top. If I would have been on like a regular pedal bike, there would have been some deliberation, like,
Sure.
no. But it was like, no big deal. Got plenty of battery. Let's go. You know, it's pretty stinking cool. I can see me adding an e-bike to my quiver in the next couple of years.
Ooh,
sure.
It's going to be considering that.
But here's the thing. This is the other thing.
What you think that chum is going to get built?
Yeah.
Or is that
it
e-bike going to get built?
No. Hold up. I'm about to tell you what my main takeaway was. After I had time to digest it and we were talking about it and everything, it's right now in my mind, it's akin to, remember when all the Rogue Posse guys had big downhill bikes back in the day and we used to always make fun of them?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's no reason to ride stuff like that on trails around here. But if you're traveling all the time and you're going to take that bike and go hit trails and stuff, then yeah, have one.
Sure.
You know, and to me, that's where I think the e-bike, in my mind, and for my applications, where I would want one is something like the one that I test rode. Super powerful, super capable, climbs like a goat, descends like a champion. That way you can go out and do all the stuff like that, and you're not just completely worn out. But make no mistake, my last day, well, I just wanted to read y'all some numbers real quick. Let me see. Give me just a second. Activities.
Is there a lot of room for it?
There's so much room for activities. So on the last day, here's the stats. We did 32 miles, 3.5 hours moving time, 4,252 feet of elevation gain.
Okay.
But here's where it's surprising. I was my average heart rate was 139.
Okay.
My max heart rate was 177.
Okay.
I mean, I still hit 177 on an e-bike, and that wasn't from pushing it. And I did figure out how to run the walk assist, which is pretty freaking cool. It's pretty cool.
I don't know if I've ever, my heart rate got to 177 ever.
Oh, dude, mine gets to 177 on the reg.
I mean, if it has, I've never seen it.
Heart rate's very individual.
It definitely is. Scott Dravicki claims that his max heart rate was like 205.
I've been up there.
Yeah, really?
Possible.
Yeah.
I mean, I know, like you said, it's different for everybody, but that just like that's insane.
Well, and then there's Rich Walsman, max heart rate of 93.
I don't know.
Something.
I just kind of I don't know. I mean, it's about 95.
I mean, I hit 173
Love that guy.
I hit 173 on the ride last night.
Yeah, I can get to 173.
Yeah.
I mean, to hit a max heart rate on an e-bike is, yes, that's completely doable, because there's going to be that pitch that even with all the turbo you got, you're still kicking it up there for 10 or 15 seconds or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's more about how much time in that zone. So like if on a traditional bike, on a ride, you might spend 10% in that zone 5 or whatever the max heart rate is. On an e-bike, you might only spend 2% there, sort of thing. But yeah, like you said, if your average heart rate's 139, you're getting your workout for the 3 hours.
I said it probably 10 times during those 3 rides. I just look around and go, I'm working just as hard as you guys are.
Oh, the funny thing is you were giving them shit for the same thing that you were doing at the exact same time, and I love that.
Yeah,
that's exactly that. That's the joke.
That is the joke. I did not want to love it as much as I did.
I knew you were going to love it. You knew you were going to have it.
Okay,
look,
so
being on a bike powered to climb you faster and stronger up things and move quicker through the trails. Of course, it's fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Even back when I didn't want to have anything to do with e-bikes, I completely could admit I'm sure it's fun as hell.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it that.
The only people that don't like heroin are people that haven't tried it.
Okay.
So
Okay.
But again, so in that environment, in an enduro environment, in a shuttle environment, in a lift environment, in an up and down environment, yes, I get it completely.
Yeah.
Yes, because the point is to go downhill. Yeah. Ultimately.
And my main takeaway, partnered with all that, is it goes back to what I was saying with the guys in Rogue Posse and stuff having those big hit bikes. Like, I don't need an e-bike to ride North Shore. You know, I don't want to ride North Shore on an e-bike. I don't want to ride Knob Hills on an e-bike. You know, I want it to go out and ride this ridiculous stuff like we rode. I mean, a lot of what we rode was Ouachita Trail, which is, I mean, it was pretty wild and untamed, a lot of the stuff we rode. I'm really surprised that none of us had any tire issues. It was pretty amazing because the stuff we rode through was super sketchy. But it was fun.
They got the Kevlar steel aramid belted tires on those things because the motors can push them.
Dude, I forgot what Adam had just put Continental Cryptotols on his bike, 2.6s. They were one of them's a front tire, and then the other one is a Agritol or something like that. They were monster truck tires. He was having zero traction problems. Pretty impressive tires.
So, and taking the gravity riding out of the equation, I'm assuming that much time on the bike, you were able to do just some traditional going across country type riding with the bikes along the way too.
The majority of stuff we did was
either up or down.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know there was sections on Rich Mountain Trail where it would level out, and it was just kind of swoopy, or maybe a little ridge runner stuff, and that was kind of cool because you didn't want to be right on somebody's wheel on those things, because if they messed up, it's hard to, especially on a climbing situation, it's hard to remount and then get going if it's technical. And a lot of the stuff was really technical.
Okay.
But what would happen is we'd get up on one of these little ridges, and I could see, the person in front of me, and it was pretty cool because you could just and just spin them in. I did have a very weird sensation at one point where I was coasting through a rock garden. A lot of the stuff was really grown up, so these rocks were hiding some of them, and I had my pedals instead of level, one of them was down, and the rock hit my pedal. And it keyed my bike to accelerate, and it was a little.
Oh, that would be disconcerting.
It was a little disconcerting.
Did you ride flats?
Nope, I rode clipped in the whole time.
Look at that guy. There's the slowest guy in DFW.
Slow camp.
What's going on, man?
Best looking mustache though.
It is the best. Look, come here. Come say hi.
They're still letting you make babies?
I think this is the last one.
Hey, we went to Union Bear last night. It was pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah, we were one of the first 100 customers. We got t-shirts.
Oh, very nice.
Nice. What'd you think? Yeah, because I told you about that place. What'd you think?
It was good. I think yesterday was their first actual day being open to the public.
Yeah.
It was busy.
What is Union Bear?
It's a brewery, hamburger joint, higher end on the hamburger joint kind of place. There's a couple in Dallas. There's one in Frisco, and they just took over Armadillo Ale Works.
Oh, that's the new place that's at Armadillo.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't go inside. We sat on the patio.
Oh, you sat on the patio?
Yeah.
Did you have a burger?
No, I had Korean tacos.
Yeah. I would give it a solid B+.
Yeah.
It's
the main drawback
for a largish type place.
Yeah, the main drawback I took from it was the train came by 3 times while we were sitting out there, loud as shit.
Oh, yeah.
And the fire station's right there. And and the fire truck went out 3 times.
Yeah.
And it was loud as shit.
Yeah.
That, and you're limited to their beers, and you're limited to their food.
Yeah.
So for that reason alone, or those reasons compounded, we kind of decided next time we'll probably go to East Side.
Yeah.
Just because there's more variety all the way around. And it's, surprisingly, it's a quieter environment.
I'm famous for many, many, many things, but a advanced, elevated beer palate is not one of them. Mm-hmm. With that being said, a couple of their beers I thought are pretty good, and not bad. And they seem consistent because I've been to multiple places and they taste the same.
Yeah.
So,
well, guys, I got to get up out of here.
You got to roll.
Yeah.
All right.
Get the hell out of here,
Where are you
man.
riding your bike?
Probably just going to take it over to the Denton Trail, the paved trail.
Mm-hmm. You should go ride it on the Denton mountain bike trail.
I thought you said trees are down. No, Denton. Sorry.
Yeah.
That was considered. I may do that.
You could get there in 30 minutes from here.
It better be quicker than that.
Well, that's true. Well, it's going to be a bad time to go ride the streets right now at this area. 5:30.
No, I'm talking about driving there.
Oh,
riding it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I would drive
over there.
Drive over there.
Oh, yeah.
That's a beautiful drop bar trail?
Yes.
Have you ridden that trail?
Yeah,
yet? Oh, okay.
yeah.
Okay.
I put in. Yeah, we take Spinistry beginner gravel riders
Okay.
out there.
Yeah.
I bet that's be a lot of fun on the
It's
e-bike.
fun on a dry bar bike.
I'm not on the e-bike.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, you did say Amish bike.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
whatever you do, go ride your bike.
I'm gonna go ride my bike.
All right. Roll that beautiful music
Oh,
footage.
Oh, y'all don't have to wrap up.
Yeah, let's wrap
You don't
up.
have to wrap.
Let's wrap.
No, let's wrap.
That's right.
Then we're gonna have to like sit around and talk and stuff. I gotta go.